Hello and welcome to this review of those three wings: the F1 Strike, the Cabrinha Mantis and the Duotone Unit. I have chosen to compare the three bigger sizes, 6, 6.2, 6.5, because the 5 meter is an all-round wing and the wing everybody uses, so companies mostly focus on getting the 5 meter right. However, making a good low wind wing can be a challenge, and the wing needs a couple of features for making it nicely. I have chosen those three to compare with because of the main difference in the handles. The Strike has soft handles. The Mantis and Cabrinha wings in general have harder handles with some soft material on top of them, and the Unit has hard handles. And as I have seen on the AWSI, a couple of companies come out with wings with handles already for 2023. So if you don't know the Strike, it's the Strike CVC comes with 2 extra struts. It's a very lightweight wing, no windows at all, soft handles with its pros and cons. I definitely think it's a pro. Very rigid wing, lightweight, so easy to pump with, starts early, generates power for even for a 6 meter in light wind, and it has saved me a couple of sessions. So it has a bit of dihedral shape, which is very nice, a very good neutral handle. On the trailing edge, it it's not flapping almost at all, and this soft pattern there, which you see, makes it a little bit more even, a little bit more stable. It has a nice SUP inflation and deflation valve with a dump valve from like an old inflation valve on kites from back in the days. The biggest disadvantage of the Strike, I would say, is the F1 leash with only 2 centimeter Velcro, very small. Even though it's very functional with this elastic rubber band or the elastic band, it often has a tendency to the Velcro to get stuck, and then you will see some material getting loose on the leash. And I have had the leash, a situation where the leash opened up for me during winter when I was wearing gloves. Besides that, a really cool and good wing. We move to the Cabrinha Mantis, which is what I would say the best, the high performance wing from Cabrinha. A very nice wing as well. The hard handles make it feel more direct. Very rigid connection here on the strut, very thick strut and leading edge as well. The disadvantage of these handles are the disadvantage is this material. As you can see, I am able to twist this material, you see, and this is actually a disadvantage when on the water and wanting to move the wing with your wrist. Because you can have an experience where you're actually twisting the material and not the wing itself. But the handle is very nice. Packing wise, of course, it's a little bit more challenging than soft handles. Also, when I used this wing intensively in the beginning, I actually got some damage on my fingers by holding the grip, and with my thumb here on the handle. Yeah, very nice leash, thicker Velcro. Yeah, another disadvantage on the Mantis is the flapping trailing edge. This is the version 1 of the Mantis. The version 2 is already improved. I haven't tried the V2 yet, but it's apparently improved both on the trailing edge, the flapping, with some soft patterns as F1 has, or similar, and the size is not longer 6.2, but it's 6 or 7 meter. So if I would put the strike on top of the Mantis, you will see the Mantis is rather a flat wing, where the strike is more dihedral, and you would see that it has a bit, I mean, deep wires. They are very similar. This is probably the extra 0.2 square meters, but probably because of the bigger leading edge here on the front, on the wing, on the Mantis, I have a feeling that the Mantis is catching, the tip is catching the water a lot more frequent than with the strike. I mean, you gotta be pretty aware of the fact where the wing is positioned with the Mantis. Moving on to the unit. Here the unit has hard handles, and this is very gives a very direct and nice feel to the wing. I mean, it gives almost a bum or a stick feeling. However, I prefer having handles instead of a boom, yeah, like a windsurfing boom, because of the fact of the two facts. One, I'm not a windsurfer, even though it's a nice sport. However, wingfoiling is the future. And the second aspect is, I have experienced falling into the wing when being on a wave, and I really don't want to fall into a stiff boom, bending it, breaking something. Yeah, I really don't want this to happen at all. So the hard handles are actually giving a boom kind of feeling, a very direct feeling to the wing, but still handle wise. So if you fall down, you're probably not going to bend anything. Yeah, the neutral handle on the Duotone is the softest one, which is probably a disadvantage to me, but anyway, it feels all right. Here is a stitching that needs to be redone, and I haven't pumped and inflated this wing very hard because of risk of explosion. When you put the strike on top of the unit, you can see both of them are more or less similar V-shaped. There is extra material on the unit, deep wise, yeah, I would say almost similar, a little bit, maybe a little bit deeper, and a little bit extra material on the wingtip. But I must say, I have had the unit out on the water once in light conditions, and I didn't experience the wingtip catching water just like I have experienced with the Mantis. Yeah, some trailing edge stabilization here. This could have been done differently, but Duotone chooses this way of stabilizing their wings. Be careful, this can actually break. and I have to be careful about that. But besides that, there was really not a lot of flapping and flutter when on the wing, on the trailing edge, when I was riding it. It comes with the unit comes with a bigger dump bulb on the wingtip and on the strut. This dump valve, yeah, it's one of the ancient dump valves from kites, from the kite industry. It works, but it can break at some point, and luckily it's easy interchangeable. The disadvantage, or the Duotone uses their this main inflation system, which is patented by Duotone. It has its pros and cons. As long as it works, it's all right, but I have heard from people and workshops around the world that this can cause problems at some point and needs to be changed. Some windows on the unit, there's no option with a windowless wing, yeah, I chose this wing because of the handles, and this wing feels also stiff and has power, is light, just like all the other two. And for light wind, this is ideal. I'm not a fan of windows because I have there is a risk of breaking this window when packing it up. Duotone comes with a coil leash, or at least it can be bought additionally. I'm not a fan of coil leash on my hand, so I have never used it. It can be on my foot, but not on my hand. And I have actually used the Ozone leash, which is very nice, the thickest, the biggest amount of Velcro. So a very nice leash that I like. And but I'm going to change to a harness, a belt harness leash for my wing too. That's a patent I was shown by a dude I met. Yeah. Three very nice wings, and if you would buy one of these and have one of these wings in your quiver, you won't go wrong. Cabrinha has a very solid old school valve, and I actually like it. It works. There's no need for special pump attachments or extra things. It's just attaching the pump, and off you go and pumping the wing. Yeah, another disadvantage on the Mantis is that it has no dump valve, so taking the air out can take a little bit longer time. But to be honest, you know, half a minute, how much difference does it make? If you can spend 20 more hours, 20 more minutes on the water having fun, then I can bear live with half a minute extra deflating it. In general, three very nice, good low wind wings. Let's put the Mantis on the top of the unit to see the difference, and then I won't take much more of your time. Yeah, as you can see, the Mantis is the wing which is the most flat. All three wings behave very well when carrying them, when moving, when holding them in neutral position underwater. Cabrinha has a very nice thick neutral handle, maybe a little bit too small here because I can't get my whole hand inside, but holding it like that, it's actually feels pretty good. You can also see the amount of sections used. Cabrinha has only used 5 sections to get to the wingtip, whereas Duotone has used 8. This might be the difference why I didn't experience, it gives a nicer arch, and it might be the reason why I didn't experience the wingtip catching the water as much as on the Mantis. The F1 has used, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So similar to the Duotone. Yeah. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching, and have fun on water. Till then.